Hi guys, welcome to my Narukami deck profile. So this is the post VEBT12 with Vanquisher update. So for starter, we are playing Spark Kid Dragoon, the OG starter. And starting off with grade 3s, we are playing 4 Vanquishers, the new boss card of the deck. 4 copies, his skill is amazing, continuous plus 10k if you bound 3 cards or more during your turn. And if your soul has a grade 3, you counter plus 1 to bind 1 card and bind a card from your hand, your opponent binds a card from his hand. So basically his first skill is life. So definitely 4 off. And the second grade 3 in the deck, the MVP, Jaggy Shot Dragoon. So this card really carries the deck in the sense that Narukami, in traditionally, it only gets advantage through binding your opponent's rear guards. Doesn't really have means of getting card advantage. So with this new way of support, it has introduced means to basically get card advantage in your hand while also retaining its niche of binding your opponent's rear guards. So this card is amazing because once you bind your opponent's front row, with the card you bound from your hand, if your opponent has no front row rear guards, you draw a card. So basically you refunded that cost and you gain +1 through binding your opponent's front row rear guard. And also, if the card you bound can be superior called, you basically just +2 off this card. That's not all. This card, after he attacks, if your Vanguard is Vanquisher, you move into Soul to draw a card. So basically, you get a grade 3 in Soul life for Vanquisher. You don't even need to rewrite, and you basically you have the chance to get to draw into your other combo pieces through this card. This card's crazy, man. So against matchups like Pale Moon where you don't really have anything to bind, it could be better to just write this first. Now for grade 2s, this is one of the best grade 2s Narukami has ever gotten. This card has 3 skills in one. You get to bind, it's a VNR skill. You get a multi-attack, and also you have the chance to move up your opponent's rear guards. So many people don't really I don't really see people using this card early, let's say on their turn 2, where you can call this off a turn 2 rush. You can essentially think of it as an Algos, where with the cost of 1 counterblast you get to stand and attack again. So early rush is actually really underestimated by many people, getting that early damage in. So during your Vanquisher turn, you don't really have to hope to open a crit to really push for game. So next up, we have the new card, Chatura. So when bound from hand, superior call it, and it gains plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. So this card's really crazy. You just want to keep have a copy in your hand when you are doing your Jaggy short turns or through Vortex Red Dragon. So this card, when it drops on the field through a XL2 circle with it'll be 23,000 power. That's big enough. And with Vanquisher, it's 33,000. So it's really scary. I mean, like, nobody really likes to get hit by on hit where you just Soul plus 1, draw 1, and bind 1. That's so much value in one card. Next, I play 4 of these Vortex Red Dragon. So I know some people don't really play this card, or they don't really want to play this many copies. This deck, you just have to superior call off binds. If you don't really put much pressure on your opponent. So I'd say this is a really combo reliant heavy deck. And this card's amazing because, I mean, early game pre-turn 3, if you're not on Vanquisher, it's just a dead card. I mean, it's just a vanilla card. You can just write it, no problem there. You can just call it and use it as a 9k beater until your turn 3 turn. And on Vanquisher turns, you just Soul plus 1, you draw a card and bind a card from your hand. So you get a chance to filter, even if you don't have a combo piece to superior call off this card. So just think of it as a bonus whenever you get to bind Chatura or Budgin off this card. If not, you just change a 5k or whatever card that you don't really need in your hand in hopes of a better card or a combo caller. And the last grade 2 in the text slot I'm playing is 1 copy of Deathscythe. It's just a good all-rounder 14k beater if you put it on a rearguard circle and on a XL2 circle. If you call it with its effect, it's 22k, so really effective against 12k base Vanguards. And also the mean of just not having a counterblast and being able to get rid of your opponent's rearguard is really good. Yeah, so against early Russia decks, just one off it's really good. I mean, this deck, the build that I'm currently running doesn't really have that strong of an early game, so just stacking one Deathscythe probably will help if you do see it. So I mean, it's just one copy, so you don't see it, it's fine as well. Now the great ones. 4 of the Rising Phoenix. Now this is one of the best cards, I mean, really since the first set. Rising Phoenix effect, when you bind one of your opponent's rearguards, you just call it, superior call it, and it gets plus 3000 until end of turn. So this is best used in combination with Mighty Bolt Dragoon, where you just ditch it after you search one of your great trees. And this card can also be used as a combo extender. After you bind one of your opponent's front row rearguards with Jaggy Shot during the battle phase, or Chatura if it does hit, which usually it does not, then you can superior call this card. And even this card, just calling it with Vanquisher boost, giving that continuous power is, I mean, it's really big. So yeah, just think of it as a 10k shield, you know. When you want to guard against decks early, like Revere or etc., you just throw this, just a free 10k shield. One of the best great ones introduced in this set that all 3 clans got. Mighty Bolt Dragoon. Skill, when on place, Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, that's amazing. You look at the top 5 cards and just look for a great tree. If you do reveal and add one to your hand, discard 1 card. So this is best used to ditch a Phoenix, let's say best turn 1, or to ditch one of your draw triggers or great trees if you just have way too many great trees in your deck. So this deck, we really want to see Jaggy Shot Dragoon. It's really important to see it on your turn 3 especially. So this card just helps you find it, and this new mechanic is really good. It allows decks to play lesser great trees, while to play lesser great trees basically. If you don't need to play that many great trees and not have the chance to miss great, just think of it as a free G assist. And this guy also gets plus 5000 power, so that's amazing. I mean, like, through any bind, any cards bound by any player, so you definitely will bind a card on your turn. And the last card is Budgin. So this deck, as I said before, it's really a combo reliant heavy deck. Chatura, 4 copies is just not enough. You need to play 4 copies of Budgin to superior call it off the effects, to continue chaining attacks and putting pressure on your opponent. Do not be scared to call over your existing units, because putting pressure on the opponent is just much more important, and they will start dropping their cards, so they will use up their triggers, and if they don't guard, I mean, like, it's 1 damage, so the closer they are to 6 damage, the faster they are to losing, so they will eventually start dropping their combo pieces in their hand to just survive and not take that much damage. So it's okay to combo, to just sometimes overextend, you know, like, yeah, cover your existing units and just push. Unless you see them like getting too much damage triggers, then you know, like, okay, you should stop. Yeah. For the triggers, we're running 4 heals, 6 draws, and 6 crits. So we still run the 2 draws because this is a combo deck, so we need to get to draw in to our pieces, and it's also good because we play Vortex Red Dragon, so we can just bind this card and to draw, to basically filter for a card with bigger shield or more like a unit, so we can call it. And the crits basically just help to push in damage. Yeah. So there are some cards for consideration which some people still do run, like firstly GBD, but in this meta right now I don't think GBD is that good, because GBD is basically a Vanguard centric card. When you play this, you play to control the game and limit the amount of counterblast that you want to give to your opponent. But decks like Revere, where they just spam rewrite and they draw so much, so they draw into all their perfect guards, and it just renders this card useless. When you play this card, your rear guards are so weak, so it's just a one-man show, I guess, with GBD, I don't think it's really worth it to run this card anymore. Next, some people do run Zuidan in this deck. So Zuidan, what it offers is just a card exchange, I guess, and you'll also have to have your opponent have no front row rear guards. So yeah, I mean it's okay, but there are better options. I think Vortex Red Dragon is way more important than this. Next, we have Voltage Horn. I can't remember his name, but basically VNR, you just wait only on the R rear guard. So you attack and you can't blast one to bind one button front rear guard, and you have the option to move it up. So well, he costs a counter blast, and he can only be used on rear guard, and when he attacks. So I kind of like Deathscythe better. I mean, it's personal. It's a personal choice. I think you could play one of these instead of the Deathscythe. And lastly, Anastasia. Many people don't really run this card. I mean, I have tried running this card. It's really weak in the early game. So in the early game, you won't have your opponent will not have 3 cards in their bind zone. I mean, this deck does not play that many bind cards. So it's actually really weak. You ride it, 7k, it doesn't even do any damage. You call it to a rear guard circle, it's 7k, it can't hit anything. So that's just how really useless it is, I guess. I mean, it's a really good late game card, don't get me wrong. A rear guard skill that Soul Blast 1 and intercepts, that's really good, but I guess just how fast paced this meta is, so this card just doesn't really do anything in the early game, I guess. So that's why I don't really play it. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you get something out of this video. Bye bye.